For those who are passionate about running, they are one step closer to becoming one of the greats. When running is a passion, every day is part of the process that brings you closer to winning. When you run to win, you don't run to put others down. You run to inspire others, like the greats who inspired you. We were lucky enough to speak with Drew Hunter, one of the greats, and he shared his running experiences with us to help us improve on our quest to become great runners. Drew Hunter is one of the best American runners of all time. He was the 8th person to break 4 minutes in the 1 mile as a high schooler, and he was originally committed to going to the University of Oregon, but decided to sign a contract with Tinman Elite and become a pro runner directly out of high school.
Hey everyone.
What's going on, Drew Hunter, man?
Hey, I'm so sorry guys. I wrote 4 o'clock, just not even looking at the time zones. That's my bad.
How's it going?
Good. Yeah, so how I've been doing these is just kind of like introduce myself and then just kind of like leave it up to you guys to ask questions, because I think sometimes that's the best way for me to, for you guys to get out of this meeting and this Zoom call with, whatever you want to hear. So yeah, I've been, for anyone who doesn't know who I am, I'm a middle distance runner for Tinman Elite and Adidas. I live in Boulder, Colorado, train with a group here. I was the 2-mile indoor champion. I've run 13:21 for 5K and 3:35 for 1500. Yeah, it's been an interesting few months with quarantine and all those things going on. I think for me it's been not the end of the world, because I was kind of looking to get healthy and get back to running just consistently, and I've been able to kind of slow things down and not rush the process, and that's what's been so great of this time period. I've been like still preparing. There's rumors that there's going to be like a fall racing season or something, so that's kind of what I have a little bit in the back of my head, but I'm not too stressed. I'll be ready when I need to be ready. So yeah.
I have a question. Going off of what you just mentioned, nutrition, what diet would you recommend? What has worked best for you?
Yeah, great question. The interesting thing about diet is it's so individualized. I've worked with a nutritionist, and for me it was like I realized I wasn't eating enough. And there's not a specific diet. Like, I eat everything. I eat carbs, I eat meat, I eat vegetables, but the important thing is I eat all of those things, and I eat all of them in a balanced fashion. I'm not binging on one thing and I'm not neglecting other things. It's all blended together and kind of like so I don't miss out on any nutrients. But I would say, like, I can't recommend a diet for you. I'd say the best thing you can do is either see a nutritionist or just like trial and error. I know that sounds funny, but like, try a different carb the night before a workout and see how your body reacts the next morning, or try a different, lunch or whatever if you're not responding well to your food. And that's kind of the best advice I can give you on that.
I have a question. What do you how many miles did you do junior, senior year for training in the summer for high school?
I was between 50 and 60, kind of in that range. I kept it pretty chill. Like, it was a super simple schedule. I would do 2 workouts a week and a long run on the weekends, and I just pretty consistently did that. And I stayed healthy, and that was the main thing. Was I just stayed healthy that entire summer, and ended up that was kind of when I had big breakthroughs. That cross season, got 4th at Foot Locker, and then the following year obviously won Foot Locker and whatnot. So like, it was just all built off that summer training. Just 3 months of good tempo runs, fartleks, hills, and a long run every weekend, and that was huge for my development as a runner. I'm still doing those same things now, so it speaks to the progression of training.
How many miles are you running now a week?
I'd say between like 75 to 85 pretty consistently. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. Like last week I had a down week and only ran 70 miles. This week I'll be around 82-ish, 83-ish. So, but it just is, it depends on kind of what your focus is and what your goals are.
Wow.
Do you have any advice for balancing running and school?
Yeah, I think that's a tough, that's like something I had to learn in high school, and when I started going to college too. I think the main thing I took away was just, when you're devoting your time to running, fully commit to running. When you're at practice, be present. When you're, training and whatnot, school should not be something that's eating up your mind. And then vice versa, when you're doing your homework, and make that 2-hour period of you doing your homework all about the homework and all about the school that you're tackling. I think sometimes the problem that I ran into, and this is what I learned, was like I would do something like I would put off my morning run or something, and then I'd get home and go like after school or whatnot, and then I'd be like, I still have to run, and that would cut into my homework time, and then I would end up neglecting one of the two. I'd be like, I'm going to cut my run short because I got to get this project done, or I'm not going to do a good job with my homework and I'm going to rush. And so I think the best thing you can do is really kind of like focus on one of those activities at once and just make that really, really important. And, just make a schedule for yourself, and hold yourself accountable for it. Don't kind of let yourself slip on those things.
Thanks.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
So I know in the past you've kind of had some injuries. So what's your best advice for anyone coming back from an injury? Just some kind of recovery process.
Yeah, great question, Colin. I think first and foremost, take things slow. The worst thing you can ever do is jump back from an injury and then put yourself back again, because you've already missed so much time off that when you have another setback like that, you're in a way worse place. And it's way better to take your time and slowly grow and develop and whatnot. And I think it's so important for you to, just remind yourself, all right, how did I get hurt in the first place? I might have been overdoing it. I was doing too much, or, I wasn't fueling properly, or whatever it is. And so constantly remind yourself, all right, I'm not going to do that again. What can I do to avoid that? And really, really, take your time with the process. Work with your coach to not rush back into things, and really, really focus on the things that are going to keep you healthy. That's what I've always done. For me, that's been getting in the weight room, cross training a lot. Those things help me stay healthy. And so it was those are the things that I'm going to prioritize in this process. Great question.
Thank you.
Nice.
To go back to nutrition, how long before your race do you stop eating usually?
Typically 4 or 5 hours. I'll have a banana or something maybe 2 hours out, but you really don't want to have anything in your stomach when you show up to the starting line. The important thing is, though, going, and I can't emphasize this enough, I don't want anyone to think he doesn't eat before a race. No, the night before, the days leading up, you eat a ton. You eat nourishing, well-balanced meals with carbs, protein, vegetables, everything. But on race day, you don't want to gorge yourself. You want to be very mindful of what you're eating. But if you don't have that fuel leading up to it, the last few days, then you will struggle, if you don't eat something, right before the race. So I think it's really important for you to, try different things, but it's rare I will eat a meal under 4 hours before my race. That doesn't really happen, but I'll have a banana or a bar or something maybe 2 hours out, just to have something in my stomach, but something light.
I have another question, Drew. What has the experience been like running with all the guys at Tinman Elite?
It's been amazing. One of the biggest blessings in my life. All those guys are my best friends, and I get to live with them and train with them, and it's just been really, really cool. It's been cool to see the growth of them as athletes, as humans, as people, and also just, as the brand as a whole. We grew from printing 30 t-shirts and selling out, and now we make 3,000 and sell out in just the same time. And it's really, really cool to, be a part of that journey and, be the one kind of picking what to do and whatnot. So I think it's been really, really cool.
Drew, are you considering running or trying to qualify for the 2021 Olympic Games?
That's the plan. Yeah. Yeah. That was the plan this year, and then obviously with the pushback, that's kind of the only goal in the next 12 months. So, yeah, I would love to represent the U.S. at the Olympics. That's a dream of mine.
I have another question. So, what was one of the big things that made you want to go pro over running in college? Like with the
Yeah, I think the big thing is I've always kind of wanted to do something different, kind of like follow my own path and kind of create my own path. And so with this opportunity to do that, I was like, all right, well, like everyone can go to college for 4 or 5 years and run, but not everyone can, sign a pro contract and kind of like pick and choose where they want to live and all these things. And so I really wanted to, give it a shot. And it was a tough first year. Like I struggled a lot my first year. But I learned a lot and grew a lot through that. And, now it was like the best decision ever. Like the people I've met, the mentors I've had, and the friendships I've, created through the sport. Like it's something I'll forever be grateful for.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe take 1 or 2 more questions, guys. If anyone has anything.
I had a quick question. Earlier when you were talking about injuries, you mentioned cross training and weight room. What do you focus on when you're cross training? Is there anything specific you do as a cross training routine, or are there any specific lifts you focus on in the weight room? Yeah,
I mean, I'm fortunate where I have a strength coach that he assigns our lists. But as far as cross training, the 3 things that I always would do would be biking. I have like a stationary bike that I use, and I would just go for 30 minutes to an hour and a half and do intervals and whatnot like I was running. So say if I had mile repeats that day at 5-minute pace, I would do 5 by 5 minutes hard on the bike, just replicate my running workout basically. And then the other 2 cross trainings I would do elliptical, and then I would aqua jog in the pool with a belt and tether to make it hard. And those are the only 3 I do, and those kept me really fit through, I had 3 months of injury, and I did those every day, and it sucked. I loved running. I don't love cross training, but it made running a lot more enjoyable once I was back because I was still really fit. I was putting the stress on my heart and my lungs, and I just had to get my legs to, recover and whatnot. And weight room, yeah, like, I mean, we do a lot of core stuff. We do a lot of like stability things, so a lot of like single leg, stuff to keep you balanced. And because every time you're taking a stride, you're on one leg. So if your ankle and if you aren't stable and your core's not stable when you do that, like that leads to injury. And so those are the things we focus in the weight room.
Okay. Awesome.
Anyone else? Maybe one more question?
Yeah, Jenna, got anything? Jenna's gonna run at college next year, Drew. She's in the middle.
Congrats, Jenna.
Thank you.
Where are you gonna run?
UMass Dartmouth.
Oh, nice. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't have a question, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sure Zach has another, though.
Anyone else?
I have a question. So, like, I know now with Tin Man Elite, you're sponsored by Adidas. How, like, when you're running with Adidas shoes, have you ever, like, had any complaints or preference over shoes now that you're, like, sponsored? Whereas,
yeah,
you could
I just have my, I wear the Solar Boost or Solar Glide every day, and those are my babies. I train, I do my workouts in the Bostons. Most of my workouts in the Bostons, which is like a flat, like a lighter trainer. And I love them, they're like, and obviously I'm paid to say that, but at the same time, like I would wear them even if I wasn't, because they're, the best in the business. So I highly recommend the Solar Glide and Solar Boost if you're looking for a trainer.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out, Drew.
Yeah, Drew. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Sorry I hopped on late. I'll have to read more carefully next time.
It's no problem.
You're up.
Thank you.
Yeah, all the best, guys, and stay tuned. We have a ton of content coming out on Tin Man Elite, a lot of YouTube stuff, a lot of new merch dropping soon. So I hope all of you can get something, and it'd be great. Oh, it looks like we already got Colin's got a Tin Man shirt. So yeah, Looking good. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, and stay safe. And hopefully, once you guys all get back to racing, it'll be sooner rather than later. So,
Good luck, Drew. Good
bye,
luck.
everyone.
Thank you.